What's up, you guys? Yet another out of nowhere live. Obviously, there was some pretty big news today. Well, I guess sort of big. The whole nation of Mexico is now set ablaze. That's it's crazy. Sometimes Sunday can be a slow news day, but then there's other times when it is the opposite of a slow news day. So anyhow, hit the like button on your way in, share the video, subscribe, ring the notification bell so that you always get an alert. Obviously, Mkali and I have been doing a lot more of these shows and lives lately. And I want to say thank you to everybody for the tremendous numbers that we've got on some of these lives and some of our videos. The one where we went over Mike Franzise's reaction to Sneeko and whatnot, that one's over at 2,100. We also have a few others that are doing pretty well. The last one ended up getting hit by YouTube's shadowing thing because we said the word that for cannabis a few too many times. We said too much of that, but such is life. Sometimes you have to deal with censorship issues. So anyhow, so obviously El Mencho, he was a pretty heavy hitter. He's now long gone. Now, we're going to show some of the footage that has been out on Twitter today on X. And thank God for X, by the way, because that's one of the few places that doesn't have very bad censorship. And also, though, going to go quickly a little bit over here of Mencho's history. Mencho got a start in California. So way before he was a cartel guy south of the border, he was just a local, kind of underworld salesperson, we'll say, in California itself. He got his start here, and for those of you who understand how California works, we've had these issues going back to the late 70s into the 80s, and we've had these guys, Tijuana and others, operating up here for years. In my region, there was, quite a few of these characters, and myself and many others were involved with their guys that were stationed up here. They were back in the day, they moved the brick green stuff, and then, of course, some of the white stuff, and they got into CR and other things later on. And Mencho was not much different. What's up? What's up there, Mr. New Orleans? Is this related to the recent surrender of the giant from Canada? No, that's just Mencho. But I think Mencho would have been considered a giant in a lot of places because they've had these guys all over the place. California for years, Texas for quite some time too, Arizona and New Mexico, but also going into the southern states, Nevada, and Colorado, places like that have had this for 20 some years as well. So they started out west here in Cali because this was their main area where demographics uh, suited them and their purposes, and now demographics have shifted in a lot of other places too. So I will share. You're gonna like this picture of Mencho, you guys. Mencho has a fro. He, take a look at this, you guys. You guys will like his picture here. This is from someone's Instagram. All right, so there he is. Look at that. There's instead of Mencho, that was Men. That was when he was Menfro. When he was just a kid, he was Menfro. El Menfro, and El Menfro. This would have been. Let's see. So he came into his real name is Seguera Cervantes, better known as El Menfro. He illegally came to America. So this lets you know that we have a lot of great hardworking people coming up here. He came here illegally in the 80s. He was a younger dude at the time, and his first arrest happened in like 1986 in San Francisco for carrying stolen property and a loaded. And that's basically how it kind of starts. Nearly everybody I've known that's ever been involved with any of the green stuff or anything else, we've all had arrests for grand theft or car thefts and things like that. A lot of the mob guys from back east, that's their same role too. What's up, The Truth? I'm glad you could make it as well. Hit the like button. Salute to the people that are watching on Twitter and X, by the way. I can't post your comments from there. I've not really researched how to do it, but it is what it is. But so he was arrested in 1986 in San Francisco, stolen property, carrying a. He was deported after another arrest in 1989 for selling drogas, only to re-enter the nation. Sometimes deportation doesn't last very long. So he gets arrested in 1989 for lower level sales, and he re-enters the country, and he faces federal charges this time in 1992 for his role in a deal where he was the lookout for his brother who was selling it in a San Francisco bar. There was a sting operation up there, and he got nailed. And after serving 3 years in prison, which doesn't sound like a lot, especially with the mandatory minimums of that era, so he got lucky, probably because he's foreign. A lot of these guys, they get out of jail quicker than American criminals do because their foreign status allows them to cut plea deals where they agree to do some time and they go home. So, that's one reason, by the way, they were able to take control of all this stuff up here, is because American criminals simply can't compete with that kind of stuff. Yeah, what's up? Uh, Liam, yeah, that's been a long time. So no, well, I do have a bro that's he's in Playas del Tijuana, which is the beach west of Tijuana itself. My bro down there, I haven't talked to him. I think he's okay. And then I have actual legitimate business friends who have vacation homes in Mexico. One of them is going there tomorrow. And I did text him, like, Brad, hey, be careful down there. He said, oh, I know what I'm doing. So he's been there a lot of times. I'm going to, I guess we got to trust his judgment on that. What's up, Liam? Hit the like button, you guys, on the way in. So Mencho here, he was a lookout. He got 3 years, and then he goes back to Mexico where he becomes a police officer. Well, maybe he tried to do the right thing, right? Hey, he learned his lesson. He's like, I'm tired of going to jail. Don't want to serve time in a U.S. prison, so I'm going to become a cop. Anyhow, then of course he gets involved with the Millennial Cartel, and then later he founds the CJNG. So Anyhow, that's him. SFPD, that's his pictures. And look at that. Look at him. El Mencho. El Mencho was El Afro. Yeah, no doubt. A lot of the cops down there too, they're involved with car theft in America as well. Those guys, they steal cars in California, Texas, Arizona, and then the cars go, San Diego. Let's see. Um, then you got El Paso and the other border cities in Texas, Nogales, Arizona. They steal from there all the time, and then our cars end up in Tijuana. They're they don't usually come back. And of course, they do love their pickup trucks. They're known for that. They carry their things. He's gonna make it if he's already calling the. Yeah, I don't know about that if he has, but he's the dude's doing extremely well. He's got like 100,000 subs right now. So I'm sure there's people that have been competing with Nadu that probably don't like that, but hey, he's beating them. His numbers speak for themselves. They like the pickup trucks, and Roy likes four-door cars. Yes, yes, I think I know who you're referring to there. So basically, you guys, when you look at Mencho, he started off as just a regular dude, you know, doing underworld stuff, and he was also involved with meth production in Redwood City area with his brother-in-law Abigail Gonzalez Valencia. That apparently his brother-in-law is named Abigail. Don't ask me that one. But Redwood City, for those of you who don't know, California is right. It's near the San Francisco Bay Area. It's kind of on the southern end of the Bay Area. So he was involved up there. Obviously, this guy was a San Francisco kind of guy. And maybe he does. If in that case, then you better be careful talking about him. That could be real dangerous for you. So let's go ahead and pull up. I'm gonna pull up the X tab, Twitter. I still usually call it Twitter rather than X, but anyhow. So here we are. And if you don't follow me on Twitter yet, follow me if you would, please. So here we go. So when you look at Puerto Vallarta, it is a resort area. I have been there before. It's a nice area. Probably not a nice area today, though. Probably not a nice area today. So here's let's do one here. Let's start with this one. I'm just gonna select. There you go. Here's the airport. Federal Puerto.
No, mamá.
Yeah.
¿Están bien?
The truth, I'm live on both YouTube channels at the same time. I'm trying to kick the algorithm going on both. So that's why you see some. All right. Oh, wait a minute. Look at this. I do like this thing too, by the way. Take a look at this. Look. Speaking of Mexico, look at that. This isn't related to, it's not related to Mencho directly. Here we go. Here we go. Come on. Come on. Boom, he goes down. I gotta pause this every so often. You guys what do you guys think of Strickland? Strickland took it to him. Oh. That's it. All right, so this isn't about Sean Strickland. This is about Mencho. So we'll go back to Mencho, you guys. I promised Mencho, not Strickland. He just popped up. So here we go. So let's go to, let's see here. Hey, there's my live showing that I'm live right now. All right, let me go to all right, here, let's get back to this. All right, so, All right, here we go. Now these things are pretty cool, you guys. These beasts are made by the cartels. These things are an example of fine Mexican engineering right here. Look at that thing. No, this is the cartel. I was going to say, I thought maybe I was showing a military one, but no, this is them. Arriba! Uh-oh, look at. Those dudes are like 5'2" each, right? Look at those guys; they're tiny. I wouldn't say that to them though. Hey, no offense, fellas. These guys have an average height. I think on the it's the mob true crime and then mob and organized crime. Yeah, so these guys, when you take the tall ones and the short ones, their average height's like 5'4". But half those guns are almost bigger than them. Look at that. Look at that. They're sending a message, huh? Look at that. It's all. You know what that sounds like? It sounds like New Year's Eve in California. El Guapo from Three Amigos. This is the modern day bandidos from El Guapo's group. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. He's got a little bit of barrier there to protect him, I guess, slightly. Hey, you got the Viva El Rambo there. Hey, muchachos. Yeah, that's something else, huh? Let's see what else we got here. All right, here we go. This gal Sarah Carter does a lot of border stuff. She's been doing this border stuff for years. I remember seeing it a long time ago. Look at that. So this is right there, Pacific Ocean right there. This is Puerto Vallarta. Look at the beautiful palm trees. Looks lovely this time of year. And one thing, by the way, I don't know if they showed in this video, but when you go to Mexico, you guys, you'll see even at these nicer areas, you'll see boats out there that look like crap. They're all like old, decrepit, and it's almost like a boat that's been abandoned that they just don't want to get out of the water, or maybe they don't have the funds to do it or what, but you'll see it in the resort areas too at times. All right. What do we got next? Oh, here we go. Look at that. These guys are racing while they're blasting. Well, then again, if you're in a place like that, I'm sure you want to drive fast, right? Mira, look here, mira. That's funny. I know it. I think I know what you're getting at. You know, hey, oh come on, Lee would never scam anybody. He would. I'm not Lee. If you see this, not accusing you of scamming either. Here, I'm just joking. Just joking, Lee. You did a lot of stuff back in the day too. You know, I know about most of it too. I keep thy secrets. Look at this. Look at that. Someone started a bonfire. Look at they're wearing shorts. It's kind of warm in my part of California today. We've had some days where we can wear shorts again, but the other days it gets freezing still. We have a weird weather pattern. They get to wear shorts a lot out there. I like how someone put "stay safe." You know. Yeah, there you go. Well, that's true. These guys, they may have the fire, you know, but they don't have the training, and they certainly proved they didn't have the training compared to, you know, the guys who went to arrest him today and kind of left them, you know, left them in the dust. All right, there we go. So let's see this one here. Ian Miles Chong. I know that's that freaking one of those Tim Pool kind of guys, I think. Okay, look at that. Look at the beaches there too. You know, nice, beautiful beaches. This is a resort zone. I think they're trying to scare Americans with this one. Normally, Puerto Vallarta is pretty nice. Like I said, it's not nice today. Yeah, one lone boat out there. All right, so we'll go to the next one. Oh. What's this one here? There we go. Here we go. Wow. I'm willing to bet that Los Angeles is also going to have some issues. I mean, LA is almost like Mexico's northernmost city now. There we go. Lit up a bus. You got nothing but bus skeletons now. Wow. All right. Let's see what the other one is. I haven't watched all these. So. That yacht. No one's going to touch that yacht. I'll bet you anything that it's might. Well, I was going to say it's owned by one of these cartel guys, but there's Americans down there that are rich too that could be owning it, or Mexican government officials. They make a lot of money on the side. Look at that. All the beautiful palm trees. And it's smoking like it's Iraq. What do we got here? Is that a dude? Is that a dude? Look at that. You guys think that's a dude? I don't know. I don't know. You just never know these days. Is that a hombre or is that a mujer? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I guess they're equal opportunity employers if it is a woman. Then again, if it's a trans, it's an equal opportunity situation too for these guys. They employ anybody, huh? All right. Here's a picture. Okay. She's all right. Yeah, maybe that's the same one. Okay, maybe it is. Maybe he is a she after all. I don't know. I kind of was wondering about that though. All right, here we go. Here's a recording from him.
gente a la verga. Soy Mencho, güey.
Look at this. Leave us alone. It's Mencho. And I'll fall back. Your whole squad 30 located, identified. Kill your dogs. Wow, crazy. Hang up. Got your location. He's telling the cops that. You got it, sir. I'll tell the police squads to fall back. You guys agree to work with us. Of course. Look, tell you this, fall back because you're happily accepting my money. He's saying that he called them pigs and said that they're all happily accepting his money. Yes, sir. Telling them right now. Watch yourself because I'll spill. Woo. We don't have any more problems. No, sir. No problem. You guys wants to be friendly, we'll be friendly. If not, yeah. See, crazy down there. I don't want to hear from you again, kind of thing, right? Don't call this number back. I'll call you when I can. Yeah, sure, and I'll call you back on this. Yeah. But don't turn off your phone because I'll interpret that as disrespect. Now, same for all you guys, and I apologize. Then he says sorry for the foul language. He's a good guy then, huh? Yeah. Hey, well, it's a crazy world, you guys. Hey, Mencho at least apologized for using foul language. You know, maybe Mencho's mom was like walking into the room while he was on the phone, and he didn't want his mom to, his mom gave him that mom look. El Mencho, El Mencho. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to use the foul language. Forgive me. Forgive me for what I have said. Okay, let's see here. Here's the coordinates of him. Here's an aerial view. Look at that. Look at that, you guys. That's Puerto Vallarta. Here's the middle class area. There's the upper class and the tourist zone. That's the resort zone. See. Absolute see. Look at that. The area, the drone view of the zone. La Zona. La Zona. So there we go. Look at that. You see that? See all that smoke up there? A lot of smoke. A lot of smoke. Let's see here. Old photo of them. The Jalisco. So that means the Jalisco Rojo. Rojo means red. So the red Jalisco event. Yeah. See this next one here. So this channel here, this guy here, Cartel Watch, cool guy. I get some footage from him. I posted some on my channels, but you got to watch posting this stuff because YouTube gets crazy about
Tu
some
puta
of it.
madre.
Hey, you're not supposed to talk like that.
Esto es
You know, just because you're lighting a place on fire does not mean you have to talk that way. I'm going to mute it because I don't want to hear him say bad words. You know, I'm more offended by the cuss words than I am of this. All right, so let's see. Here we go. This is stepson of El Mencho. 5 million US dollars, bro. And 213, that's a Southern California phone number. So it's probably from the LA office of the Department of Homeland Security or the federal building down there. So what do we got here? Let's see. Let's see. Puntos means point, points. So this here is it appears to be the property where El Mencho was located at. And you can see that El Mencho likes the whole desert scape, you know, property style there, which one of the companies I deal with can do that for your home if you want to hit me up. We can do desert scapes. And look at this. All right, so definitely this is a satellite. This is a spy satellite view. Pretty big. All right. Let's see here. Let's see this next one. El Yogurt. Okay. Abraham Jesus Ambris Cano. So this is another one. That's CJNG. Hey, I have that same hat except mine's black. I have the same hat as this dude. Let's see. What's the next one? Look at that. This guy. Wow, look at this thing here. It's got some wear and tear on it. That is an AK. That's an old school AK. That thing's been through some battles.
Estamos encargados, nomás para ver si va a estar con nosotros o no, porque Ando está ayudando.
Yeah, what do you think of that? That's an AK, bro. Yeah, the Spanish architecture homes, it's very nice. Look at that thing. He's got an old school one.
Y, pues, le mandamos el mensaje que se acomode con nosotros o se acomode bien con ellos porque.
And then the other guys, look at them. They're posing in the background. Look at that monster that dude's got right behind him. My goodness.
Van bien. Aquí estamos en los bancos.
That's not the kind of thing that your normal ATF gun runner, freaking Fast and Furious kind of guy is going to usually carry.
Y no me escondo, para que vea.
Wow. All right. Let's see here. There's a chopper. Look at that plant. Hey, that plant kind of looks familiar. Look at that plant. There's a few of them there. That's just personal. Orale, after work, Jessica. Orale. Look at that thing. They're like, just don't grab my stuff. Possibly, yeah. It depends. A lot of those go all over the world, though. Those things, those AKs hold up like crazy. The Soviet Union back in the day flooded the market with that stuff too, all over the third world in particular, because they were behind the Africa stuff. They were behind the Mandela and those guys, and the guys that fought the Rhodesians. They were behind all that. The Chinese were too, but the Soviets more. And they flooded the world with those things, and the Middle East. And of course, you know, the US government was moving a lot of those too. They could have plausible deniability if they were selling AKs. The only thing I would say to not decrim would be Fenty for sure. Fenty is a flat out poison. The only place that Fenty belongs is in a hospital for cancer patients, people like that. And if you notice, when they do dispense Fenty for people for legal reasons, it's in the form of a lollipop so that it has slow release. There's simply no way for street guys, really even a lot of chemists, to measure out a safe amount of that for mass production. And it's just a hit and miss thing with that stuff. But some of the other stuff, I would keep Coke and the other stuff out of the stock market and stuff like that, though, for sure, because that would go just crazy if that happened. It'd have to be like a really supervised kind of scenario, and we'd have to keep the corporations out of it. It'd have to be almost all government. It's complicated. All right. This is the airport again. You got people there. I'm not an Americano. No, no Americano. I might be white, but I'm Spanish. I'm Spanish. I'm not Anglo. Going crazy. You have a bunch of like vacationers. You got like white liberal hipsters down there that are like, I'm here to showcase how peaceful Mexico is for all you racists out there. And then this happens, right? I'm here to, like, I want to show you guys on my travel vlog how peaceful and how nice the people of Mexico truly are. And then all of a sudden, we got to run for it. That's how it happens. There you go. Yeah. Here's the next one. Let's just see this one. Here. Inside there. There's another view. Okay, that's kind of similar to the other one we saw. You'll notice that Mexican airports and the tourist zones are actually fairly nice. They make it a point to keep those ones up a little bit. All right. Wow, look at that. Oh, here we go. Dan Crenshaw. Good old neocon Dan Crenshaw. Let me tell you guys that El Mencho, he died like a dog. El Mencho died like a dog. And it's thanks to guys like me that this happened. Oh, here we go. So here we go.
Last week, I introduced legislation to declare war on the cartels, to give the government the tools needed to go after them and hunt them down and sanction anyone who aids and abets them. They don't fear us, and that needs to change. I actually want to give the cartels and their leaders a very direct message in a way that they might understand.
Go ahead. Make my day.
Los carteles. Ismael Mario Zambarda Garcia.
Oh, wow. Oh, Crenshaw's impressing everybody speaking in Espanol.
Y Nemesio Ceguera Cervantes y Juan Pablo Ledesma y los demás.
Your vacation is over.
Porque ahora serán perseguidos. Vendremos por su dinero, vendremos por sus mansiones, vendremos por su libertad. Ya no vamos a ignorar sus crímenes contra nuestro país y nuestros ciudadanos. Ya no se pueden esconder y ahora va a...
So he represents Houston, Spring, and Kingwood. I've never been to any of those places. I've never been that far into Texas. I've been to West Texas and North Texas.
Su reino de terror.
Well, the border in West Texas, El Paso. I've seen the border a number of times there.
Last week, I introduced legislation to declare war on the.
Well, this was 3 years ago, and Dan is saying, thanks to me, this happened. Good old Dan Crenshaw, you know, good old neocon. All right, here we got. So this is probably the real cops.
Ahí tengo
Real
desamarrados los
military.
perros, culero. Y así voy a andar patrullando. De tu puta madre.
More of the bad words. More of the bad words. You guys stop cussing. All right, and this guy's doing the horns. All right. Let's see. The right wing is furious over the takedown of element. It must be, I don't know, maybe Mexico's right wing. I don't know. This guy here, remember this guy? This dude right here was on stage singing when he got past his song, knowing that he wouldn't leave that bar alive. Wow, imagine that. Imagine being told that you're gonna have to sing like that at the last minute of your life. Yeah, Ryan Brown. I haven't seen. Actually, no, he has been around here recently. Let's see. Yeah, Tom Sheehy. Tom Sheehy. Back when I was doing the channel more consistent, he was actually a member when I was still doing that. We'll be doing memberships again, by the way. And Tom still watches. Tom follows me on Instagram. Tom's don't donate to clowns though. You know, they're trying to take your money. They don't offer anything but drama. You know, these drama shows, forget those guys. All right, let's see. Okay, more of the same videos there. There's is that Mencho with his kids. All right. Well, let's see here. Same thing from the airport. Another one from, is this a house? Wow, look at that. Is this the I know they lit up a Costco down there, but this doesn't look like a Costco. This looks like a regular supermercado. Yeah, okay, there we go. You know, you're gonna just light up a grocery store. What's the purpose of that? Oh, remember this guy? This dude used to go around. I think he pranked these guys, cartel guys or something. I forgot what his thing was. He used to mouth off about them or something. Now he's no longer. Oh, he's telling old Mencho to, you know what? This is years ago. Hey, now this dude and Mencho are both on the on the other side now. That's him. I remember this guy a little bit. Don't ever freaking do that stuff. Yeah, he was called El Pirata de Culiacán, the pirate of Culiacán. All right, see what he got here. See what we got here. A Mexican OnlyFans model. Okay. All right. Figures, huh? Figures. Let's see. Oh wow. The S storm in Mexico just hit new levels. The Guerrillas Bernajos in the Mexican army finally grew up here and smoked them. The blood of the Jalisco New Generation cartel. But oh, the backlash. Said apocalypse in Puerto Vallarta. Retaliating like scum. Oh, hey. Yes. A lot of stuff here. Cartel Watch again. Good channel. A good place to follow on X, by the way. Cool guys. There you go. Let's see. What's this? Here's some of the. Okay, this is just okay. Hey, some of those pickup trucks you talked about, John. Some of the pickup trucks right there. Look at that. Wow. Yeah. Hey, there. One of the pickups is burnt out, John. Yeah, they're just gonna move it the old-fashioned way, huh? Alicia. Look at that. See those shacks right there? That is what Mexico looks like when you're in El Paso. When you're coming back from Michigan, the Greyhound route used to go south through Ohio and Kentucky, and then it would go through Little Rock, Arkansas, and into like Dallas, Fort Worth, and then west through Texas, right? And in El Paso, there's an area, I kid you not, when you're on the highway there driving, you'll see like these suburban houses in Texas, right? And then you'll see these shacks, just like that one right there. Just like that one right there. Yeah, it is. It is. There's a nicer area of El Paso, but yeah, it's El Paso's yet another Southwest crank town. There's a lot of Southwest crank towns in America. We have them in California, like San Bernardino. Um, you got them in Arizona. You got them in New Mexico. You have them in El Paso and other parts of Texas. But yeah, these shacks right here, you'll see them in Mexico on the other side of the Rio Grande, and it's just you can see Imperial County for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's where my dad was born. Actually, my dad was born in Brawley, which is like I don't know 20 miles north of the border, and just south of where he lived in other areas after that, but just south of there is Calexico and Mexicali. And Calexico and Mexicali are basically two towns with a border in between, and they're both like dumps for the most part. It's hot as can be in that area. Salton Sea is over there, that whole area. Salton Sea used to be a resort, but now it's a dump. But they may have discovered something that'll make a lot of money in Salton Sea, having to do with what's it called, the stuff that they have for phones and other stuff. That's lithium. I think they think there's going to be lithium deposits down there. So maybe some dude that's lithium. I think lithium, but lithium's going to be worth a fortune and already starting to be. So like people who dumped Salton Sea are now, if they still have property that went to crap, who knows? Maybe they'll do better. Just like Western Nevada is going to do very good. And then also another thing California is banking on, especially Gavin Newsom, is the lithium deposits that are on our side of the Nevada-Cali state line. So, they're banking that lithium is going to allow liberals to continue just spending like crazy, and no one's going to worry about it. It is what it is there. Let's see. And of course, in Salton Sea area and around, there's a fortune to be made with that stuff. Let's see. Here we go. So here, let's see, the region of Jalisco that the CG&Gs control. CJ. I always say G. CJ. Because it's pronounced CJ or whatever. CJ and G. El Meno. Palayo. Luis Palayo, the regional jefe. All right. So what we got here? All right. More of the same. Probably that same chick from earlier. Another one. Let's see. There we go. A lot of this stuff that's happens in the brush. This guy, whoever he is. Oh, bad. I don't like seeing that kind of stuff. It's scary to me. So here's the mountains in western Mexico. Their mountains are kind of similar to some of ours, except we get a lot of snow on ours like crazy. Let's see. Look at this one. Look at all this money. Let's see. This guy, look at this dude. He's in Mexico. He has a shirt that says Wisconsin Dells. And of course, the feds are turned around. Don't blame them there. Oh, hey, look at that. Look at that, you guys. Look how bad this is. See that? That's terrible. That's terrible stuff there. I denounce that stuff. Some of the jewelry, I bet that's worth a fortune. Look at that. R2. And then more Mexican shacks. Hey, here we go. Someone else put Mencho's San Francisco pick up here when he was El Menfro. So there we go there. Look at that. And then more of his, same one with his family. U.S. intelligence was involved. Let's see here. $15 million bounty on Asaguera. He rarely leaves his mountain compound. Don't blame him there. Not only does he have to worry about U.S. authorities and Mexican authorities, but more importantly for him, probably would have been the rivals. Those guys are all over the place. And let's see. The cadre of men protecting Asaguera, known as the Special Force of the High Command. He had a nice lofty name for his people. I'll give him that. You are now the Special Force of the High Command. They had RPG 7s. Woo, those are Afghanistan level things right there. Heat seeking, shoulder fire. They can get through a tank. Of course, they can take down a Heinz helicopter. Let's see. Here, these guys, for all the money they make, yeah, K2 is what it says. For all the money these guys make, they still have to live holed up like that. That's no way to live. I'd rather be broke and be able to just move freely. Or just be a middle class kind of guy and just, kind of enjoy some life, but also be free. Lord of the Roosters, huh? The Lord of the Roosters was a thirsty man. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Look what happened to that vehicle, huh? They got armor on those things too, typically. Here's the class. Look at that. Whoa, look at that thing. Okay. That is an Israeli weapon right there. That's a Taver. It's a Taver. I don't remember the model number. That's from our friends in Israel. That's a freaking mean weapon right there. Those Tavers. Yeah, that is a Taver. Hang on, let me see this. Oop. Hang on. Yeah, a Tabor, whatever. So right here. This is it right here. This is what she had it look like. That looked like a Tabor to me, a Tabor. These are bad boys right here. They can be covered too, but maybe it wasn't. But that looks like it was an Israeli weapon. If you if you ask me. All right. It looks like Mexico has some best friends in Israel too, just like we do. Let's see. Yes. Okay, here's one we haven't seen yet. They got the old school Mazda right there. Wow. All right. Wow. Just do it randomly.
No hay incendio, oiga, allá arriba. ¿Ya viste?
Verga, puras 4 letras, hijos de puta madre.
He's cussing. He's cussing in Spanish.
A la verga. Prendidos a la verga.
Hey.
Puto, sí.
Hey. Help with the naughty language. YouTube don't like a lot of that.
Verga, puras.
Hey. Come on. Let's see here. All right. Well, streamer Ali Baba's father has been, okay. Filter. She's got a filter. So you can't trust the judgment on that one. Can't trust the pics there.
Líder del cártel de Jalisco Nueva Generación y hoy por hoy el hombre más buscado. Podemos confirmar que ha participado en...
All right, come on. Let's see something. Oh, just pictures or what? All right. Let's see here. Oh, this guy again from a long time ago. Okay, here we go.
Los de la camioneta gris. Ahí le están tirando balazos al de Primera Plus. Los de la camioneta gris.
The nicer highways like this in Mexico, you guys, you'll have areas right where the road will just cut off, and there'll be like a 1 foot gap going all the way across, like a straight line, like you could fit a railroad tie in it, right? And then the rest of the road starts up again. It's weird. It's almost like when they went to pave the road, they decided, well, this 1 foot we're just gonna, not fill. You'll see that in Mexico. I don't know why that is, but here in this part of the resort zone, it looks like they had a legit, road crew make this one.
Ahí están, mira.
A lot of Americans were complaining. When you're down there too, you can rent like golf carts and stuff, and it's kind of cool. You can have fun over there, but not today. Not today. You ain't having.
Están los balazos con todo, Miren. Están queriendo abrir el Primera Plus. Le están tirando balazos. Ya lo bajaron.
All right.
Ahí viene.
Let's see here. More of the same there. Ah, the big tanks again. Let's see here. Same. Old school. I'm assuming that's a real one from 1945. Let's see. Let's see. It's well known that former U.S. military personnel special forces were coming to train. Oh wow! So some of us people, this guy here saying that our former special forces guys went to train them, exclusive to the American Army, rapid stealth operations, hallmarks of Navy SEALs. You know, let's see. The priority was the reprisals. That's just some guy with a theory. Who knows? You never know with all this stuff. The politics gets real complicated with these things. All right. Let's see. Okay, this is his son, sentenced to life in prison. This was back in March, though, right? Of last year. Let's see. Then there's some older ones here. So anyhow, here we go. Here's the
Ya la prendieron.
They just lit a car on fire. Okay. All right. All right. So, hey, we're a little over an hour. Well, I think we've seen pretty much all the ones that are related to this that we haven't seen really yet. I think they're all pretty much the same from here. So, anyhow, you guys, I appreciate you guys joining. Like, share, subscribe, ring the bell. And then, of course, order Mkali's book, Catch 420. Catch 420, great book. Our bros are in here. And there's, of course, under assumed names, which is the smart way to write these kinds of books. You don't have legal issues, and also you don't put people on blast. Well, hit the like button, share, subscribe, ring the bell, follow us on social media. And here's both the channels lit up right there. Later on, we will end up doing members only stuff after we've done this for a while. Once we have been doing this consistently yet again. I appreciate you guys. Thank you to John and the multiple other profiles you have. And we'll be back later on this week.